So, this is a in-betweener podcast. It's not about the TV show In-Betweeners, but it's in between. This is not the next proper podcast, is what I'm trying to say.
Not at all.
This is just this is filler, if you will. Although hopefully this is actually going to be good, unlike filler, you know.
Hopefully.
Whilst it was fresh in our mind, I wanted to have us discuss Kill la Kill, because since the last podcast we recorded, Jack has gone and watched it and finished the series. I guess on my behest, because I was the one that told her about it. So
yeah,
victory for me.
Pardon me. It's the first anime in a while that I've actually watched at the recommendation of a friend, I think. I'm trying to think back. I watched Attack on Titan kind of on my own, or my own accord. Yeah, I honestly can't remember. I saw it online, maybe. I think I might have just watched that anyway, though. Yeah, I think the last one was like the Tower of Drago, which is kind of like sort of online, but not, but older. Mm-hmm.
You kids today in your anime. Back in my day, we had Astro Boy.
Oh, Astro Boy. I remember Astro Boy. It was on the BBC quite a long time ago, I think. That was really weird. Yeah.
Yeah, we are derailing this already.
Let's try and not derail
it. Too late. I'm driving this train off the tracks. So, I suppose you should give your thoughts, because I was
going to say, I don't know.
I was the one that actually, I didn't discuss too much of it, because I couldn't talk about spoilers or any real plot point. I pretty much just gave the premise and said that I liked it, and that was it. That's all we covered.
That was last time, you mean?
Yep.
Okay.
And you hadn't watched it by then, so there wasn't much discussion around it to be. It's kind of like with Uncanny Avengers a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, it is. You know, I don't know why I'm not finishing it, but I don't think I am.
Haven't even got to the good parts yet, so it's like watching one episode of Kill la Kill and going, you know what, I'm going to leave that sitting for the next few months.
I think we should turn this podcast into just a podcast about stuff. Media stuff.
Oh man, what another transformation. You do realise that means that the artwork's probably going to have about 10,000 characters on it.
Oh, I can't be bothered to change it again. Kill la Kill. Yeah, say something to get me rolling on it. I'm not feeling any specific topics going up at the moment. We talked about it last night, and I'm like,
yeah, wasted potential. Blew it already. Topics to talk about. Well, you asked me yesterday what my Goku uniform, and that's what I will refer to it now and forever as, what my Goku uniform would be, and I told you a 5-headed chariot on fire that I ride, and I'd apparently be president of the equestrian club, even though...
Yeah, and I responded to, well, I don't think you can ride on a horse, because I've never known Jordan to do horse riding, and generally you have to be quite good at something to be the president of a club. But if you're dead set on having a flaming chariot, then
you never said what yours would be, though. That's the thing. So we're going to get live breaking news.
Well, I don't quite know what mine would be. I mean, somehow I don't think I have the skill to be president of the video games club, but maybe that wouldn't translate to an anime. So perhaps I could be, because everybody else was a scrub. I don't know. President of the Laughing Society. But they're pretty useless. Yeah, it'd probably be that, and just be a giant suit of armor with like various weapons that would just like detach from it.
10 out of 10. Would hear your story again.
Yeah.
Ow, beat myself up.
I think that's I don't really think of anything else.
Wow. You had me give a nice exotic explanation about how I would go around riding a chariot of 5 horses on fire. Didn't even give it a name. Something regalia. Chariot regalia.
That's pretty funky.
The Mark II version would just be the horses stand up on hind legs and have minigun turrets in their stomachs.
Yeah.
That's where that would go.
Oh boy. Yeah. Good show. I haven't enjoyed a show like that for quite a while. I mean, I watched Gurren Lagann kind of recently, but same studio roughly, I think. Sort of. Some same animators.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Can you now? Oh, you mean when a character has a face in his chest?
Yeah. Where's the starting point? I don't want to spoil anything because that's
No,
not...
this is going to be a spoiler podcast. Okay.
Is it? Oh, I don't want to spoil it though.
Well, no. If we want to discuss the nitty gritty, we need to discuss the final.
Well,
point.
let's try and discuss it without spoiling too much because I don't want to like spoil major plot points or like things where you... Because it's kind of like... It's a review of... The only reason people will watch it if it's like, oh, I was thinking of watching this. They don't come here to be like, oh, I wonder what these guys thought of it in like professional opinion. Nobody cares. They'd ask their own friends. They don't need us to tell them about that.
We are better company. I'm just going to say.
Let us discuss, but keep major plot points and plot twists.
Satsuki's really a man in drag. Oh no!
Oh my gosh, I'm done. You just spoiled the entire series because of sake, Jordan.
That's why her eyebrows are big. Those weren't feminine eyebrows at all.
Yeah. If you're looking for a show that's high octane, absolutely don't know what's going on, stupid, silly, great, funny, tons of action, tons of over exaggeration,
tons of nudity.
Yeah, nudity. Eventually, you realise kind of isn't nudity because they don't draw any specific parts. It's just kind of like a body model without nipples, or yeah,
Yeah.
So yes, there is. You will find in the show that a lot of the time people tend to lose their clothes or transform into slightly skimpier outfits. This kind of progresses and gets more and more skimpy as it goes on. At least with some of the uniforms. Actually, with most of them, yeah. At least by the end, at the Elite Four. Are they actually called that? I'm not sure. They're kind of like the four divas. I don't know. Satsuki's like top four.
Top four? She's 4 people, is she?
Class president people thingies.
President of Honoji Academy.
Yes.
Pretty much what she is.
Oh no, I'm talking about the four divas, what they are in terms of like hierarchy. Like they're her 4 most trusted peeps, apart from the butler who serves her tea. I don't really want to give it a star rating. I'm not really a fan of star ratings. I would give it a good out of...
You would give it a 3-star uniform.
Whatever. I would give it a 3-star on the uniform.
Out of a possible 3.
If you're in relation to Gurren Lagann, if you haven't watched Gurren Lagann, what are you doing in your life? Just turn this off, go watch Gurren Lagann, and just...
I feel like we've been here before.
Yeah, I'm going to go there again. Don't watch anything else, just go watch Gurren Lagann. And if you haven't watched anime before...
Don't start with
Why
Gurren
are you
Lagann.
here? Start on Gurren Lagann.
No, don't. I am the complete opposite to him. You won't want to watch anything else afterwards. You'll be like, well, I've seen the highest I've reached the top of the mountain. There's nowhere to go from here.
I was listening to a co-optional podcast today and kind of yesterday as well. And the guest they had on there, Jesse, as well, was like, apparently, because this guy watched Attack on Titan. It's his first anime, which is a terrible choice. I don't know why you do that. Well, I know why you would, but it's not. It's a psychological thriller with action bits in it.
With giant naked people.
It like puts itself, or people put it as like action. It has action in it, but it's more psychological because they stand around for a long time. And then Jesse was like, "Yeah, I watched Evangelion as my first thing," and they were both like, "We had nightmares about giant mechs / Titans going to eat each other." So yeah, and then they were like, "Yeah, we didn't watch it after that." And I'm like, "Well, fair enough." They're both kind of really serious. Maybe that has something to do with it. If you're unsure whether you want to get into anime or not, literally, Gurren Lagann is the least serious anime I can think of. It's at least on par, if not more, ridiculous than Kill la Kill. It's funny. It has over the top, manly action. Almost every frame exudes just man everywhere. It's just
Even
wonderful.
the frames with, a 14-year-old girl in a skimpy outfit. Manliness.
It takes everything that kind of anime stereotype to be, crushes out the bad stuff, and just, yeah.
It's
Part
a
of
love
the
letter to mecha fiction, where it's not
Yeah.
serious. It's all about the stupidness of giant robots that fight each other.
Kind of part of the reason why I like the people behind that and Kill la Kill, because I just like, sure they could have made it a bit different. They could have like made it super serial or whatever, and they could have put like, because like Kill la Kill, Kill la Kill. I will say if you haven't watched it, it is kind of overwhelming at the beginning. It's very fast. It doesn't pull punches on speed, like and because there's no dub. Like especially when Mako, she does like these things where she goes, she talks really fast anyway, but she gets a spotlight put on her and she just speaks like the speed of light. And to keep up with her while the subs are rolling and try and look at the animation as well, I'm like, oh, this is a little hard to. It gets better, you get to it, but both of the shows are absolutely wonderful and just like, we could make it make sense, but why would we do that?
That's stupid.
That's stupid. We're gonna just make it be awesome and just punch it in the face. There is very few moments on Gurren Lagann where I am not like half out of my chair, fist raised in the air. It's wonderful, and that reciprocates in Kill la Kill.
It is feel-good anime, even though it has its serious moments. It is feel-good.
It has feels moments, but at its core, it's like gets you pumped, you know.
Gives you faith in humanity again.
You see the main protagonist, who have like an almost inexhaustible source of willpower, and just like they all have their like moments where they're like, oh, I'm not sure, blah blah, and then that doesn't last very long. I'm so glad it's like so many anime are plagued by the curse, especially Neon Genesis of Shinji, who's forever unsure of himself. He's like, oh, I don't know whether I can do it this day. Oh, I can do it this day. These two waste no time on any of that trite. I'm not a swear man, but trite is about the extent of the utter filth that I can describe it.
Well,
Whininess in moderation aids plot. Whininess in too much of it, there'd be a more eloquent word for it, but I can't be bothered. Too much whininess ruins everything. It makes it absolutely horrible to watch. Because when I look at a whining character, especially after watching Gurren Lagann, I'm just like, man up, punch him in the face, and just, yeah. Part of the thing, I mean, Attack on Titan is kind of psychological and everything, and it did that quite kind of well. But even some of the things then, they were all like, oh no, and they started losing it, and I was just like, pull yourself together, go punch a Titan in the face, and get your act sorted. Stop being a whiny teenager. Man up. Which, of course, is kind of an unrealistic thing to say when your friends are being eaten by giant nude titans. But, you know, man up.
Someone get this man a soapbox. He needs it. He needs to stand up and tell the world, stop being a whiny...
Stop being wimps. Sick of it. No, yeah, but a little bit of joking aside, they're both great. But Kill Kills we're talking about.
As much as you're trying to detract from that conversation.
Yeah,
anyway.
I'm not going to do like a full blown explanation of it because it's just no point doing it. This is kind of a halfway thing / adding on to stuff. Got great characters in it. The animation is wonderful. It has,
even if it does get reused sometimes.
Yeah, it does get reused a little bit. But
they just end up burning through the transformation sequences and just speeding them up.
sometimes it gets faster, sometimes they just cut it off entirely and have a tiny bit at the end. But getting past the reusing of animation, the rest of it is like as good, if not a tiny bit better than Gurren Lagann. It's different. It's not like better. It's just different. It's not giant mechs. It's half naked people fighting, sword fighting, etc.
And scissors.
Yeah,
Half a pair of scissors.
yeah.
Serious.
It does what it needs to when it needs to. Some of the animation sequences are really simple. Some of the characters, most of the characters most of the time are like super deformed. Especially the Manchukuo family. They are. But one of the things I really loved was like when I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, they're like get one of the head
Just
of
say it, man.
the head of the disciplinary committee, Gamagori, is like announcing something to all the people of the surrounding Hanuji town, and basically Mako's family comes up, and they like. Because Mako's dad is an absolute. You can't take him seriously ever. It's great seeing where like he looks Kamagori dead in the eye, and suddenly all of them become super realistic. They're not like super deformed anymore because the whole family, apart from Mako's mum, maybe, is just like ridiculously deformed. They all become super realistic, like super chiseled. And he looks him in the eye and is like, "I have two questions for you. One is the food free," and Gamagori's just like, like a little sweat drop on his face, and I'm like. That it has really nice variation in its animation. It doesn't stick to hyper realistic all the time. It doesn't stick to cartoony all the time. It's just a good variety of goodness.
Let's talk characters.
Characters.
What is a show like this without its cast?
Yeah, I don't think that's a character I really. All the characters are good.
Are we forgetting someone?
Hmm?
Nui.
She's not a bad character. You may be freaked out by her, but they're all.
I don't like her. Ooh.
I think they are all well written characters. I don't want to say too much about her, but yeah, it's the kind of you don't get it too much, but she fits into the stereotype of really cutesy, really sad, really kind of kawaii, loves cute things, and has an absolutely psychotic undertone whenever she like starts losing / gets super annoyed at something and pushed to the boundary. She just completely loses it. I think there's not a character in the show that I am like you're pointless. Some of them are scrubs, but that doesn't mean they're not good characters.
The boxing guy. Scrub-tastic.
Tennis captain. They're pretty scrubbish.
Tennis girl with virile teeth.
Yeah, with the really pointy teeth. That was kind of creepy.
She doesn't have the excuse of being part shark, so I don't know what they were up to there.
That's true. Character designs in the series are great. All of the uniforms, especially like they have specialized them. They're all really funky and all really. And in terms of like the overall world design, kind of reminds me of Soul Eater having like a massive hill in a sense leading up to an academy. That's kind of what the Death Weapon Meister Academy was like in Soul Eater. That was really cool. What's your favourite character? I know it already, but tell people.
It's Senagayama.
Yeah,
Because he is based.
Is pretty awesome.
He fights with a wooden sort of. There's a technical name for them, but they're just basically wooden katana.
Yeah, it's made out of bamboo. I can't remember the name for the bamboo ones. I know,
okay, bamboo then. Gee.
Well, you can tell it's bamboo. That's what it is. What they use in kendo. I would say bokken, but I think that's just a general term for a training sword. I don't think that's like a specific kendo sword. Anyway, yeah, Senagayama is pretty awesome. Yeah.
Too bad he sort of scrubs it up a bit.
He does scrub it up, but it's not his fault. It's just that he's like always outclassed in one way or another, or like
I always thought that he was the strongest of the four. Well, not at first, but when he did his whole second transformation thing and did his whole... Can't spoil, apparently, because of Zenoga. He did something to make himself a better fighter. Let's just say that he altered in some way, and he's the first one to get a Mark II uniform, and in his first fight against Ryuko, well, no, it's their second fight because he comes back to have a rematch. He absolutely thrashes her, and she needs to hide and get out and run away and retreat. And it's at that point that I think that establishes that.
Yeah, they all have kind of their own strength. I mean, I can't for the life of me remember the name of him. Like the leader of the computer club,
the glasses guy. Yeah, no one ever remembers his name.
He's good at tech, and he can kind of fight as well, but he's not. He's probably the weakest of them all. Nonon is kind of powerful-ish, not as an accomplished fighter as Gamagori. Gamagori has toughness. Nobody's as tough as Gamagori, or as strong, I would say. At least not without being super enhanced / having a god robe.
Gamagori gets himself beat.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would say Sanagama is probably, out of those four at least, the best combat fighter, hands down, because nobody else knows really how to. You see, like Nonon gets kind of a sword later, but he's the most trained in combat, I would say, / the best one. At least in terms of sword fighting. Yeah. Senketsu, best character.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I might change mine. My pick to Senketsu, because he's the only one that's not completely insane. Well, okay, we say that, and then he sort of gets turned on by Mako's mum ironing him, so he's
being ironed. But he's a piece of clothing, so it's to be expected.
He's a sailor uniform that talks and has a moustache and an iPad.
But then again, I'm thinking as well, Mako's dad is pretty awesome. I mean, to be like one of the only characters in the series to go toe-to-toe with Harame Nui without being enhanced in any particular way, I don't think. That's pretty special. Fair enough, he had scissors, but I mean, he might have had some enhancement, but I don't think he was made up of life fibers or he was wearing like a lab coat, but he was pretty cool. And he managed to rob her of an eye as well. That was great. That was fun. I laughed. It's kind of mean to laugh, but
But she deserves it. Also, I think you referred to him as Mako's dad.
Did I? Oh, sorry.
I was getting a bit confused. I caught on when you said about the scissors, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's
I get confused. Well, it's because they always go like, "Oh, Matoi," and because Ryuko is Ryuko Matoi, and her father is Dr. Matoi. It's the same reason as like.
Shin, that's his first name, kind of. Well, we won't talk about something. Yeah. That's a pretty big plot point, but
they're always going like, "Oh, Kiryu." Even Satsuki calls her mother by the second name first. I'm like, what? The Elite Four just call her Satsuki, rather than
Lady Satsuki.
Yeah, Lady Satsuki. But even so, it's so confusing sometimes.
Yeah, the whole Japanese thing of last name, first name certainly does.
Usually, at least they don't push it so much, but in this show they kind of pushed it a bit.
That's what was great about Gurren Lagann was like pretty much no last names. Even when people did have a last name, never got said. They never said Teplin Nia or Litna Yoko or Litna Re.
Well, I watched the dub, so they didn't do that anyway.
Yeah, I watched the dub too because you can never get too much Yuri Lowenthal in your life. Oh wait, you can. He's in everything.
Because there's not a dub out for Kill the Kill it's a pretty recent show. I don't know what the dub will be like. It will probably be pretty good, I think.
There will be. In the meantime, you can watch an excellent parody video on YouTube Would you just look up what if 4 Kids dubbed Kill la Kill Bully La Bully? And just that's pretty much
yeah,
pretty much what you can imagine what might go wrong depending on which studio gets dubbing rights. She has to save her father from jail. Yep.
Oh boy. Yeah, look that up for yourself.
The top 4 bullies and the head bully. Stacy something. I can't remember what they called her last name.
They're like, oh, Riley, you need help from Sam. It's so good. They like edit it because, of course, you couldn't have nudity and like or like skinfiness in like kids' TV. So they're like, with the help of her uniform, Sam Ketchup. It's like he turns into a hot dog, and they just Photoshop a hot dog over Ryuko.
And they Photoshop a hamburger over Satsuki.
It's so beautiful.
And she wears gym ketchup. You get it? It sounds like sounds like oh god, what's her uniform called? Junketsu?
Junketsu,
that's it. No one cares about Junketsu.
When I first heard that title, I thought it was just them making like an English joke, like, because junk, penis, and I was like, oh, you. And then, no, it's just, it actually meant something. And I was like, oh, I was just being stupid. That's fine. It's fine. Okay. I don't know what to talk about.
Soundtrack. We're both in love with it.
Soundtrack is very good. I need to stop listening to it.
No, you will not stop listening to it.
No, I've listened to Senega's theme like 8 times in 2 days.
That's not enough, I'm afraid.
Oh my gosh. That's a very good soundtrack. Almost every character has, at least the main characters, has their own theme.
Ryuko got that before my body is dry, which will be stuck in your head within minutes. You wish you had a beautiful Japanese lady voice to be singing along with it, but you don't.
So
life gave you a bad hand.
Suck it up, unless you're actually... I don't think we would have any female followers who are of Japanese descent or are actually Japanese.
It's a big world.
Yeah, even if you gain 16,000 subscribers, I'd be surprised if one of them
It's a Japanese woman. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I don't really think we fill the quota for that.
Crying shame, really.
It is, but never mind.
There's a song in German sung by a Japanese woman. It's like the best thing ever.
That is a very good song. I don't want to spoil who it's for or what it is, but it's very, very cool. Kind of strange what they... the scene they used it for originally was strange. Oh
yeah, this show goes to places that
It goes to some places, that's for sure. At least with the that particular character. You
sort of have to look around the room and make sure that no one's...
Yeah, you wouldn't. I mean, I've been watching it with my curtains open because nobody really else can see it. And after a while, you will get desensitized to any form of like no clothing in this. You really don't care after a while, even if you didn't care anyway. Well, if you didn't care anyway, you wouldn't care anyway. But yeah, even if you like were a bit kind of whoa, clothes going off everywhere, or blah blah. By the end, it's just like
whatever.
It's
a thing. Clothes.
I could now watch Kill with my curtains open.
Clothes are evil. Clothes are the devil. Okay.
Yeah.
In fact, while you're listening to this podcast, I'm ordering all of you to take off any bit of clothing you're wearing.
Or better yet, listen to Ping Pong Circule, which is the I'm pretty sure it's the Mikasugi's theme. It's kind of the de facto theme anyway.
I think he shares it with Glasses Boy.
Yes.
Possibly.
I think is his name Aikira Mikasugi? Mikasugi is Ryuko's homeroom teacher.
Cough, cough.
Cough, cough. He is absolutely fabulous.
Possibly the most ridiculous character on the show, barring one that we can't talk about.
His clothes will spontaneously slide off multiple times. His nipples will glow pink.
As will his jockstrap.
Yes, and you will wonder what is going on for like the 100th time, and then you will just go, "This is okay." I am comfortable with this, and continue with your life. 3 stars out of 3. Wonderful. Just fun, you know. You can sit there, you can watch it, you can get. You don't need to have energy to watch it. It kind of gives you energy anyway. It's just great.
After this, you'll wish you went to a better school. You wish you went to a school where you got uniforms that gave you superpowers.
Well,
real life
people
is
murder you, but you know.
Yeah. Well, not many people die in that show.
No, it's strange, but yeah.
For a show called Kill la Kill, you'd expect more killing la killing.
I haven't really got anything else to mention. I could probably covered it better, but this is good. I had fun.
I felt like we needed to get this out because possibly by the time we next do a proper podcast, we may have forgotten what we wanted to.
Yeah, well.
Say. Plus, it means we have a gap to fill now to talk about something else on the show instead of the.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows? We'll come back to this in like June and be like, "So, you guys like Kill la Kill, huh?"
I don't know what else is. I don't really know any anime that are coming out this year. Sword Art Online, I think, is set to have 3rd and 4th series, because technically the 1st and 2nd series, comprising of like 24 episodes, is only the first arc of the books. Yeah, we'll see how that comes.
Maybe I should just wait on that then. Although you did say that the first series is pretty much.
Don't wait. The first series is. If you want, watch the first series, which is awesome, and then leave the 2nd series till the other ones come out. I wouldn't bother with it. If you really want to watch it, go for it, because it's not terrible, but it's nowhere near as good as the first one. The first one is like top tier. Then the other one is like. Yeah. It just gets weird sometimes. Does that wrap this up?
Maybe we should just, I don't know, mention next time on Dragon Ball Z.
What can you expect? I have no idea. I don't plan this in advance.
Forever Evil will probably be finished by the time that the next one's out, so we can all hope and pray. I will give my...
Jordan's kind of the main comic book reader here. You can trust him to actually read stuff. I
trust him to actually finish reading Uncanny Avengers first.
I just do what I do. I toddle along. I do stuff. I don't really have...
He says go with the flow.
I kind of do go with the flow a bit. I just do stuff. I'm like, well...
He's a chaotic neutral at heart. He doesn't know what he's doing, he just does stuff.
I only today emptied my LARP bag, and that's been sitting there since Monday. But
since January of 42.
I don't have a great inclination to... It's kind of just... Yeah. I get around to stuff, eventually. Hey, better timekeeping than Alex.
Yeah, that's true.
Most of the time, anyway.
So, Forever Evil should be finished. I think the last issue comes out May 21st, and we probably won't be doing a podcast before then. So, perhaps one or both of us will have seen Days of Future Past by the next episode. Who knows? Maybe I would have gone to see Winter Soldier.
Jordan will have seen it. I might try and see it. It depends how much it is, because the cinema here is kind of expensive. I think I just done goof last time and booked it weirdly, but yeah, the cinema here isn't great price-wise. It's also not great location-wise or seat-wise. Kind of weird. Anyway, we'll see how that goes.
And then Original Sin, who knows how deep that will be. I'll give my thoughts on that. Someone shot the Watcher, you guys.
Who knows?
I think it was Satsuki's eyebrows.
Probably Satsuki's eyebrows.
And DC's Future End storyline, which, yep, they've gone ahead and started their next major crossover arc before Forever Evil's even ended. So, can we have a slow round of applause for DC Comics? Truly. Masters of their craft. I feel ashamed to be the one wearing their logo in the shirt. I think I covered this a bit more, but not doing me proud.
If you live in the UK or Europe tonight, this will not be going out tonight. But I can tell you, the date today is...
I'm a man of surprises. You never know.
The date today is the 10th of May. The Eurovision finals are currently on,
In the background of my room right now.
There you go. Sadly, yet again, Lordy didn't make it this year. I hope Scandinavia or wherever they're from has got over this, because of course Lordy are the most loved band in Scandinavia, and I can't remember who I talked to once. They were like, "Yeah, I asked somebody about that once," and they literally just kind of did a really long sigh and walked away.
Making friends.
I don't think they enjoy being represented by the... They're just so fun. They're just like a death metal band who dress up in outfits. And they're not the best band, by all means, but the outfits they wear are just great. Yeah, nothing will beat Epic Sax Man.
No. In fact, Germany should just get Blumenkranz playing from there.
Yeah, they should.
That'd be great.
There we go.
So, until next time, don't lose your...
No, don't lose your way. That'd be terrible.
Exactly. You might be on the way to Pizza Hut and suddenly you've taken a wrong turn, you're in McDonald's and you've lost your way.
And the cashier is trying to make you wear a sailor outfit. And you're like, I don't want a sailor outfit. And they're like, trust me, you want this sailor outfit. And you're like, no, man, I don't want that sailor outfit.
And then he stabs you in the eye with a pair of scissors.
Exactly, and they stab you, and the sailor outfit kind of eats you. And the worst day ever. Don't lose your way. Go to
Pizza Hut.
Go to Pizza Hut. Don't go to McDonald's. It's just the worst decision you can make ever. They're good chips, though. They've got good chips, but yeah, I can't speak for anything else. It's pretty nasty. Good food. If you had don't eat it from this recommendation because I've never transfused blood. I was going to say good food after a blood transfusion because you know it's really fatty and stuff. You get your kind of things up again. I always like the idea of having a Burger King after a blood transfusion. Sadly, I can't donate blood at the moment because for some reason across the country we have like 8 blood transfusion places, one of which happens to be in Luton. Why is there one in Luton? I don't know. There's not one in Derby, but there's one in Luton. It makes no sense at all. So now that I've moved away from my hometown, I now cannot donate blood because I have no money to travel to Nottingham or wherever it is.
Donate it to a sailor uniform.
To donate blood. Yeah, just... That's a good thing, though. If you're thinking about donating blood, donate blood. They probably... I don't know how it is in other countries, but here you get your like... If you don't know your type, you get checked out and everything, and you donate blood, and it's good. It's awesome. Sign up for the organ donor register as well. You don't use your organ to be dead. Give them to somebody else. Don't be selfish.
I'm glad we can always end these on track. Oh wait,
exactly.
We can't. We're hopeless individuals.
This is far more important.
Just go
Watch
change
the Beards as well. There's another plug for you. If you haven't watched Australian band The Beards, they're the best band in the world. They sing about beards.
I think I'm just gonna, for future episodes, I'm just gonna cut my mic off, cut my audio, and just call this Jack's soapbox stand, and just let you speak to yourself. Clearly, that would be what the people want.
I hope you do. I hope you do.
Just you never-endlessly complaining about the state of the world and what's wrong with everybody.
Talk about stuff and things I like. What am I doing? Okay.
So, come back for episode 4, whenever that is, where Jack will no longer be a part of the show and I'll have got someone who knows what they're doing.
I'll probably have been replaced. It's a harsh truth, but...
He'll probably be replaced with Microsoft Sam or something.
Please. Okay. Goodbye.
We're done. This is over. I'm burning this to the ground.